been epic. Huck, just a great player. I just finished watching him in the GSL this morning. If you don't want a spoiler, just stop the stream and skip ahead for 15 seconds. Huck absolutely ravaged the GSL. His 2 games were easy wins. It looked like he was just taking a walk in the park, and now he is in the top 16. Now, in the last game, something incredibly epic happened. And listen carefully, guys. I was casting a ZVP. Huck was playing. And in the final engagement, as soon as those 2 armies collided, Huck threw down like 3 storms. And at that exact same time, in my house, there was an actual thunderbolt and thunder right next to my house. That is how epic Huck's storms are. They actually generate real thunderbolts. Now, quite interesting, I know. It just made my jaw drop, and I just started laughing alone here in my room. Okay, now in this matchup, he is actually playing SYG, so I'll be calling him Sige. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but Sige it is. And it is a PvT, the first PvP of this Huck replay pack. I have 5 games here by Huck. We'll be casting all of them. And yeah, a flash, not an actual thunderbolt in my house. It was just a flash, okay? It was next to my house. In case you're wondering, I am still alive. By the way, I am casting these live on my Justin TV/BuddhaZerg, Buddha with 1D. That is some feedback I have gotten from one of my viewers here. And Huck now throwing down his first gas, as well as his Cybernetic score not walling off, as you usually don't against the Terran. Terran not getting gas as of yet, so we might be seeing a fast expansion here by the Terran player. And I just can't get over how epic this last engagement was with the thunder, with the storms and the thunder outside my house. It was just wow, overwhelming. And yeah, I am casting a few Huck games here. I will be uploading them to my channel later on. It's YouTube/BuddhaZerg, Buddha with a single D. And the Terran player Sige actually already throwing down a command center. And we saw that coming. Since there was no gas, it is very logical, and that probe actually scouts it. So Huck immediately throws down a Nexus of his own and starts chrono boosting Warp Gate actually. Throwing down a second gateway, might want more units, and a third gateway, so it will be a 3 gateway expand, but this time he actually gets his Nexus first because he was able to scout the command center. And with 3 barracks from the Terran player, it is actually a very similar builds from these 2 players, except they are not the same race, but they will be able to have about the same amount of units and the same economy later on. Double refinery now going up for Sige. Still 1 gas by Huck. You usually see Huck getting a second gas a bit earlier than this because he just loves his sentries, but I guess against Terran he just decides that Stalkers are a lot more useful. Stalkers and Zealots might be more useful in his army than actual sentries. And now these 2 gases just finishing up for Sige. So we will be seeing a tech path soon enough. As well as for Huck, still no gas for Huck. So he will be staying on these 3 warp gates at least for now. His money is okay now, warping it a few units forward here, so we will be putting on some pressure. He still sees that the command center did not land yet, and with these 3 stalkers he will actually prevent it from landing for at least quite a while, until there are enough Marines to actually walk down this ramp and throw down a bunker. And now Huck actually walks back just a bit, will stay there just to harass a bit more, throwing down a second pylon here right next to the Terran expansion. One supply depot checking in the back here for any Warpins later on in the game. Now, Stimpack starting 4th Siege. These two command centers just calling down mules and producing non-stop SCVs. You can see this Harvester tab favoring Huk because of that Chrono Boost, but the income will start favoring the Terran player soon enough because of those mules. Now, one sentry here by Huk. I like this decision of a sentry. If these Marines decide to walk down the ramp just a bit too much, he just force fields the ramp and locks a few units down here. So very good decision by Huk to warp in just a single sentry with these 4 stalkers. And there we go. If Huk actually manages to force field this, it could be huge, but late on the force field doesn't do as much damage as he could have, losing that sentry before, right after that force field does go up. So Siege now able to safely expand behind this. The command center will float down here, and 2 bunkers are being thrown up for Siege. Now Huk warping in 3 more sentries at home just to be safe, and a Twilight Council as well as 2 more, a gateway and a forge. Starting this upgrade should get chrono boosted out soon enough. As soon as Huk realizes that his forge is done, he has his focus here, but decides not to start it now. Zealot legs as well as +1 armor, so he will be going Zealot heavy, and a +1 armor, in case you're wondering why he's getting armor instead of weapons. +1 armor actually makes those Zealots a lot more robust to Marines. So if you have Zealot legs and a whole bunch of Zealots in front of your army, they will tank a lot more damage, as well as just surround the Terran army that much faster, and eventually do a lot more damage than if you only had +1, say, weapons on all your units. So these Zealots will be a lot more robust. You can see that they have double the armor than they do have shields. That is why he is getting the +1 armor and chrono boosting it out before Zealot legs. Actually, these two will finish almost at the same time. I think 90 on 140 and 98 on 140. Yes, they will. And a Dark Shrine actually for Huk. Where is that Dark Shrine? It's between the 2 bases, so we will be seeing some DT harass. A lot of ghosts actually quite early from Siege. 3 ghosts already in that army. These EMPs will be able to deplete these units of shields, making those Zealots that much less effective, as well as the sentries. And nice little spread here by Huk with the sentries, not wanting to lose all those force fields to a single EMP. And those EMPs can actually be very useful against DTs if they decide to warp in during this engagement. The Dark Shrine has not been cancelled actually by Huk. I was wondering why it wasn't in the production tab anymore. It was cancelled, and Huk will just focus on warping in more units. Nice little EMP catching 1 sentry, 1 force field going up, quite useless here. Second EMP on the force field. Huk will be able to thwart away this push. And a nice defense here by Huk with that Guardian Shield. Will be able to clean up the Terran bio. And Huk now in a great position. He should be taking 3rd, and there it goes. And still not using that robotics facility except for that initial observer. And the Terran player actually in some kind of trouble here. He does not have many units, decides to rebuild that bunker that was salvaged earlier. And Huk in a great position now. You can see the units lost tab actually favoring Huk just a bit. But that harvester count now way ahead for Huk, even with those mules barely catching up on income. Huk's 3rd base is halfway done, and Terran does not even have a command center on the way, throwing down a starport on that reactor as well as more barracks, so he will be sticking to bio here with some ghosts. These stalkers poking at the front door, seeing what there is and blinking back. Huk now just restarting his Dark Shrine not at the same place. Where is that Dark Shrine hidden? It is up here at the 3rd base. There was a scan here by the Terran player, but I don't think it caught it. And now Huk actually engaging this command center, forcing a cancel there. That was great by Huk, delaying that command center just by that much. Actually, it just started, but with that low hit point when it starts, he can actually deny it and force the cancel there. Nice little pick off by Huk on the supply depot. So Huk having great micro here and great game sense in general, actually. And this Dark Shrine will just be that much more for the Terran player Sige to think about when he moves out. He knows that there will be DTs in his base, or when he moves out, he knows he has to save up scans or EMPs or something to detect these DTs. Now, supply-wise, 116 to 128 for Huk, 132 for Huk. Huk in a lead here by only 10 supply. 10 supplies actually just got produced by the Terran player, so he is closing in here. And that third base is almost done by the Terran player. He is moving up. Aggressive blink here by Huk might end up costing him a few stalkers. No, he does get away with all of them. Now DT's on the map, one getting picked off here, forcing a scan, but still a single DT. Two DTs in front of the base might do some nice damage. One DT gonna force a scan before landing the command center. And this army gonna try and engage the third base. Huk not in position, has to bring his army up here. His stalkers are way back here, and this army can actually do huge damage if it engage right away. And one DT gonna start melting away those bio units. These two ghosts in front are in danger of getting picked off. They should EMP this. And one ghost actually goes down without using his energy, without using any kind of EMP. EMP on the DT, gets picked off, but another one already there for Huk. Huk really on top of these DTs, and this ghost running for its life will not get away. Huge engagement here, nice. No force fields yet. Huk actually repels this army. This army already stimmed once, will stim again soon enough. You can see these front units stimmed. Now very weak bio ball by the Terran player will be forced to run away. He should run away without looking back. Huk actually warping in more units at the front, intercepting this army, and Huk in a huge lead here should be able to just push up and win straight up, linking the stalkers up. More DTs being warped in. That is a lot of zealots here. Then GG Sige just leaves the game, and Huk actually wins 4 games in a row now, and we are going into the 5th Huk game. It is the last of my replay pack, so tune in for that.